Of course, you can also learn how to generate life force. So, not only a chi generator generates life force, you can do it too. Maybe not as strongly. It's similar as we are a lot faster with a technological tool like a car to get from one city to another one. You can also walk. You can even crawl if the walking is not as good. Magicians build up energy to project it, a good magician. And many of them don't have the chi generators. They build it up. Of course, they could do with sacrifice, and the animal energy is used. So it's not generated, it's just an energy that's present is used. With chanting and emotional build-ups, that, of course, that way, energy is generated. Think of charismatic churches or magical groups, walking in circles, dancing, chanting, sex magical practices, of course sex magic, some energy is generated there. And in most instances, the energy was used which was available, and they accumulated it up for release in a magical operation. Generating it is more interesting. Franz Anton Mesmer developed a system of healing which involves the generating of life energy. He was not aware of this. And this is his system of magnetizing, because everything was magnet back there. He used the term magnetizing, and he chose the term animal magnetism for life energy. Later everything was frequency, like when radionics came up, and of course the radionics people, they still talk about frequencies. It's just settings. I did double-blind experiments on that, and more power to the people who think it's frequencies. The practice of magnetizing is relatively simple. One person lies down, it can also be seated, and the other person passes one or both hands over the body of the person who is magnetized at a distance of 1 or 2 inches. Now you can do that on your own arm as well, as I'm doing right now, and that generates life energy. Lead the magnetic strokes from the extremities, like from the fingertips, to the center of the body. So go down to the solar plexus area and do it from the toes to the solar plexus, or from head to the center, toes to center, hands to center, and when returning you do so in a wide arch above it. That's quite interesting. Do it without it and do it with it. Sometimes with shaking out the hands, because, especially Mesmer did that when the person was actually to be healed. As I said, Mesmer was actually not aware of the fact that life force was generated with this practice of magnetizing. He just thought it was magnetized by the energy of the healer. And he introduced that method. He thought that life force was simply transferred. If you do not visualize the energy being sent to any part of the body, then the body will send the energy where it's most needed, regardless where the magnetizing happens. And magicians use the same method to generate life energy. For instance, you can move the hands like this. Do it sometime, and you notice how you feel it, how you generate life energy. It feels different than a wind blowing. So just do it and compare. And then they project it into a talisman or into a magical operation. Practice number 15. Practice the magnetizing and feel the energy in the body. Have somebody magnetize you, for instance, and you feel the energy where it is. Follow the energy flow, provided you are capable of feeling it. Magnetize and direct the energy. Practice 16 would that be. Magnetize a person and direct the energy to a specific part of the body. And of course, don't tell the person where you direct it, and let your partner tell where it was directed. Always a good test. Practice 17. Magnetize and direct the energy from the center of the body to an object. So you do some magnetization. If you don't have a partner, do it yourself, and direct pull that energy into your body. Likely goes through both arms, solar plexus, and from there project it to an object, then test the object for energy output. Practice 18. Magnetize and use one or two wands instead of your hands. So if you have two wands available, have the wands move relative to each other, like this or just like that. Principle of an organ generator, by the way. From Mesmer's research and other observations follows another important characteristic of life energy. You can generate life energy, you know that now, since you did the experiments, by moving fields of life energy relative to each other. This happens clearly in the practice of magnetizing, in group practices where people move, constantly change positions relative to each other, or simply in that hand rotation. And on the basis of this observation of the generating of life energy and the other characteristics of life energy, I invented the chi generator, or the generator of life force. The chi generator, of course, has the advantage that it can run continuously, so you don't get tired doing this continuously. 24 hours would be sort of strange. In addition, a set of chi generators can develop energy so powerful that no group of magicians can match it. And this type of generating energy by moving fields relative to each other is very, very similar, functionally especially, to the generating of electricity. The magnetic fields are moved that way, and a wire leads it off. Let's go from here to the basic laws of life force. Number 1, distance is a result of structural differences. Number 2, those can be abstractions or it can be outright identical structures or equivalent structures. Number 2, we know of similar structures and equivalent structures. Said it right now. Number 3, life force follows negative entropy or reversed entropy, whatever you prefer to call it. Number 4, life force interacts with magnetism. I haven't talked about it, but Baron Karl von Reichenbach found that out. Number 5, when you shift fields of life force relative to each other, you generate life force. I could say you generate a vortex which draws additional life force from somewhere, perhaps, well, wherever.